Hello and welcome. This is Annie from God in Scripture. Today in our first reading we had the lovely story of Samuel and Eli. And Samuel hears his voice called, "Samuel, Samuel." And he runs to Eli saying, "Here I am since you called me." And this happened 3 times, and Eli said each time, "It wasn't me who called you." And suddenly he realized it must be God calling Samuel. So he said, "Go back, lie down, and if you hear the voice again, answer, 'Speak, Lord, I am listening.'" And so Samuel ran back and he heard the voice again, "Samuel, Samuel," and he answered God in the way that Eli had instructed him. So what we all need to do is listen to God, otherwise we're not going to hear. And so how are we going to listen to God? We need our hearts to be really open and to be aware of God's presence. If we're not open, we won't hear him, we won't see his gaze or receive his graces. So we could be out walking and the leaves are rustling in the wind, the grass is flowing, the waterfall is making a noise, whatever it is, the rain. But if we have earphones in and we're listening to a podcast, we're not going to hear any of that or realize how God is talking to us through his creation and what he might be saying in our hearts. So we really need to unplug those earphones and just be open to that Spirit of God. He could talk to us in all sorts of ways. And even if you're in a city, you might see a beautiful building. And I mean, God created us and he gave us this creativity. And through that creativity, man has made this beautiful building. And that could speak to us as well. Or it could be a child crying out in poverty, and that might strike our hearts and move us to charity. Or we could just simply walk past ignoring it. So the point is to have our hearts open and to practice that listening in everything, in all through the day, because God can talk to us many times during the day, and you just need to be open to listening. And a lot of people are really scared of silence, and so they surround themselves with noise all the time, and they have music on or their headphones, or they're talking all the time, they have the television on, and there really is no silent time. So I can even remember this myself years ago, walking into a parish office and sitting down to talk to a priest about something, and I was really scared of the silence because I was always surrounded by music or the television or people or my kids or something, so I never had that silence, and it did used to scare me, but then thankfully I discovered that I'm the other way around now, and I actually prefer silence most of the time to having constant music and constant noise around me. So how can we all practice this silence? The practice of silent prayer is simply sitting in silence, quietening one's own thoughts, and opening yourself to be present to God. In the Roman Catholic Church and the Christian tradition, we have 3 main forms of prayer: vocal prayer, meditation, and contemplation. And for all of them, we need recollection of the heart, centering our thoughts on God. So to finish, I just have a couple of quotes. One from Jesus Christ himself on silent prayer. "Go into your room, and when you have shut the door, pray to your Father who is in the secret place." In the Imitation of Christ, it says, "In silence and quiet, the devout soul advances in virtue and learns the hidden truths of Scripture." And St. John of the Cross says, "It is best to learn to silence the faculties and to cause them to be still, so that God may speak." So in another video I will talk about the differences between meditation and contemplation, but it is important to create that space for God every day if we can, and to start off by certainly having 5 minutes of silence and quietening our thoughts. And it does take practice. It's very difficult at first, but when you get used to it, you just can't do without it, really. So I do encourage you to take that 5 minutes and centre your thoughts on God. It doesn't matter what thoughts come into your mind. it's just important to take that time, because it'll get easier and easier and the thoughts won't come so much. It helps us to know ourselves and to know God. Okay, so if you like this video, please press the like button and share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and press the bell button to be notified of any new videos as they come out. Thank you, and God bless you.